Hello everyone and welcome to another educational video about screen printing by Catspit Productions. Thanks a lot for clicking on my video today. I really appreciate your time and attention very much, and please remember, if you like my videos, you like the content, the tips and advice, then subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Alright, so today I just wanted to address a question that I get asked a lot. And that's basically for you guys who are screen printing commercially and you're doing print work for other people. And the two questions that we're going to talk about briefly here are, who owns the artwork and who owns the screen? So a lot of people ask me about the artwork and the screen. When you're making t-shirts, you're printing t-shirts for other people, businesses or brands and things like this, there's a couple of general rules, I guess, you want to keep in mind, so to speak. But always check your local copyright laws, because we're starting to get into that area where you're talking about copyrights and trademarks and licensing fees and things like that. So here's the thing. If you're creating an original piece of artwork for a business or another customer or even a brand, if you create the piece of artwork in-house completely from scratch, from concept to finished graphic art, that means you own the artwork, okay? The customer doesn't own the artwork unless they buy it from you. And in certain cases, you probably want to make that clear. When you're creating the artwork 100% from scratch, you want to let the customer know that this artwork is going to remain yours, meaning that you have the copyright on it, not the customer. In order for the customer to get the copyright, you would come up with a fee that is appropriate for the amount of work you did on the artwork, and then you would sell the artwork with a one-time fee, and then the customer would own the artwork and they could take it anywhere they want to get it printed. Okay? So as long as you own the copyright, you own the artwork, as long as you have created it from scratch. Okay, so that means if somebody comes in with a piece of graphic, maybe it's a low-res JPEG, or maybe it's a file where they want to add some stuff, in that case it's a little bit of a gray scenario, but usually if the customer brings you enough of a graphic, in that case the graphic is going to remain the property of the customer. Okay, so even though you might manipulate it and add text or add things to it, if you don't change it enough, then it still remains the property of the original artist. I sell screen printing equipment and supplies at catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Check out my website to see all of my offerings, and remember that I offer free shipping on a lot of the major Ranar equipment purchases. So check out my offerings at catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Okay, so before we talk about the screen itself, let's just add a little note about stealing graphics off of the internet. So a lot of the times, people will go online and find pieces of vector art or pieces of, JPEGs, pieces of art that you can take from online and use in your artwork. And you just want to be careful that someone doesn't hold a copyright on that little piece that you might be using, because once again, if you don't change the piece enough and it has a copyright on it, it doesn't matter. It's still the original artist's piece of work. It's not yours. You can't take an NFL team logo, for instance, and change the font and change the mascot to something else, like if it's a cardinal, like we have the Phoenix Cardinals, and take the cardinal and put your own cardinal and put Phoenix Cardinals. And you really can't do that, because the Phoenix Cardinals own the copyright and trademark on that particular configuration. It doesn't matter how you change it. Okay, so be aware that colleges, universities and colleges and schools sometimes will have a licensing fee, so you want to check into that, and just be careful about what artwork you steal from the internet, that somebody doesn't own a copyright on that particular piece. Okay, so the last thing I'll talk about is the screen. A lot of people ask, who owns the screen? I made the screen, I paid a screen fee. Like the customer will come in and say, I paid a screen fee and I want my screen now. Okay, but the screen fee is really not for the entire screen. What it's for, like a lot of times a screen fee is 25 bucks. So what does that mean? Well, the screen fee pays for the film positive, the emulsion, the labor, and such. So it's not the situation where the customer owns the screen either, unless you sell it to them. A $25 screen fee is simply for the materials and labor. The screen remains the property of the screen printer at all times. If you make an arrangement to sell the screen to your customer, that's up to you, but you'll want to get a higher price for it, probably like $150 in this case, where you have a one-color business with a couple crests or whatever. You know, you wouldn't want to let the screen go for $25 because they're going to bring it to your competition down the road and have them print it. So you're, you know, in that case, you want to make sure you get paid for the screen that's going to leave your shop. But in ordinary circumstances, a screen fee is just for the materials and labor, and that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and please remember, if you liked what you see, please rate, thumbs up, comment below, and of course subscribe. And if you need screen printing equipment or supplies, please check out catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to check out